Hi and welcome back to the photographycourse.net YouTube channel. In this video I'd like to talk to you about making environmental portraits. If you're new to our channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscription button and click on the bell icon so you can stay up to date when we release new videos. I love making environmental portraits. This type of portrait is when you have a photo of a person in context with who they are and in their surroundings. So it tells more about a person than a formal portrait does. With a formal portrait, you've probably just got like a head and shoulders and against a plain background or a nondescript background that doesn't really convey anything much. Sure, the person's clothing might tell you something about them, but that's about all. With an environmental portrait, you're including some of the surroundings, you're including maybe some props that'll tell you something about the person, and it'll give you more indication of who they are and what they do and what they're about. So it adds sort of more character to the photo. When I worked in the newspaper, I worked in the photography department, but we didn't call it the photography department, it was called the illustrations department. This was because our job as photographers was to illustrate the story. And the best way to do this when you were making a portrait was to include other information about the person. So it might have been a photograph of a tradesman in their workshop, or a homemaker in their home, or a storekeeper in their store, or an artist in their studios. And I used to personally love photographing artists in their studio environment because it was always full of character and interest, and I was often perturbed if they'd cleaned it up before I came because it would make it more difficult to really tell the story of who they were. Using props, you can also add interest and help tell the story when you're creating an environmental portrait. So however you can combine props and location and the character of the person that you're photographing will create more of an illustration than just a standard formal portrait against a plain background. For a photographer, it's easy. The camera is the best prop to pose them with. And with a musician, you're obviously going to get them to pose with their instrument. And with a gardener, you give them their tools and photograph them in their garden.